Welcome back with us here in the Leaders of Tomorrow Weekend Edition. In the hot seat tonight is Stay Nearby. Anand Kumar Bajaj of Stay Nearby joining us on the show. Anand, good having you here. You are largely a digital lending platform. So, just give us a background as to, how the company started, what the kind of growth is you're looking at, etc. Just give us a perspective on that.
So, from a figment of imagination to grandeur of reality is where we are progressing. Let us understand the context a little bit, if I may call out for the demography of India and the geography that we live in. 7.5 lakh villages that India has. It has only 1,05,000 and some change bank branches, of which only 32,000 branches are dedicated to rural and semi-rural citizens. So obviously the math does not match. The ATMs that we have in India, 2.5 lakh ATMs, many of them are co-hosted with a bank branch or urban centric, like in Mumbai, there would be 1,000, 2,000, maybe more. That leaves only about 70, 80,000 of the ATMs for the same semi-urban and rural diaspora. So bank have done fabulous work of reaching out as artery, but there are further deepening required, and which is what we are helping augment to be in every shop in the country as a assisted digital financial service provider. Look at the numbers in the context that we have been able to accomplish today. 50 lakh downloads of Pay Nearby apps have been done. These are pure granular and meaningful downloads because we haven't burned money in acquiring these marketing downloads. Of these, 38 lakh retailers have chosen to register meaningfully with their credentials in the app. And of that, we have about 13 lakh retail partners who have come ahead and paid a small fee that we take as a subscription fee. Of course, we have the backlog of the COVID lockdown that we have not been able to go down and do much more enablement of many of these retail partners. But yeah, that dedication has been demonstrated through 6,000 crore of throughput every month. Give or take, last year we suffered about 52,000 crore of transactions on our platform. The robustness has been built step by step over the last 5 years with progress in technology that we have. So I think, yeah, it also has been a roaring success because of the partnerships that we have been able to invite attention of. So be it bank, be it NPCI, the regulatory side, the insurer partners, the skilling partners, the network itself has been good to us, and they have stood to our purpose, our reasoning of what we intend to do.
You work, largely and very closely with small businesses, small retail shops, from what I understand. They have, while they are essential, they have also perhaps seen a huge hit and a huge impact as far as the pandemic is concerned. So my question to you basically, Anand, if you can talk about, what perhaps has been the impact on your own business, how you worked with these small businesses, what could you tell us?
Again, number-wise, we have been able to serve 150 million citizens today, 15 crore, give or take 10% of the nation already. And through our connected 38 lakh registered retail partners, we have access to serve 500 million citizens as well. So it's not too very far because you come to a store for availing certain things and we only do one part of it today. The fact that there are so many more footfalls at these connected outlets. The pandemic has helped us deploy many things that we had planned for later. It has only augmented our speed and being. So what we had planned for little later was invoked, called in now. For example, we always dreamed, visualized to help these hundreds of NBFC partners who have challenges in gathering 500, 700, 1,200 rupees from their customers in far rural. Today, we are privileged to say that we collect about 400 crore every month from 43 of our NBFC partners. You name the name in the NBFC microfinance. we probably will be most modestly serving them. So getting banking access to millions and beyond giving access to banking services, we have been able to layer all the 5 digital payment modules, the soft POS, the physical POS, UPI QR, the link-based payment, and Aadhaar payment. Don't forget the buy now pay later, our own version of the Khata that we had embedded during demonetization in our app.
All right.
We are thriving. We have gained substantially, and so much more can be done with this connected platform of micro entrepreneurs.
You recently, launched Neo Dukaan, a platform that aims to modernize 100 million retailers by 2025. That's a massive scale of growth, and that's a massive platform. So, what can you tell our viewers about Neo Dukaan?
So the skilling, reskilling, and a continuous exercise of skilling will be available on this platform, Neo Dukaan, which will drive and deliver the retailer to get more skilled workforce at their shop. The interesting part James talks about is the intent that a local accountant can get job at a local shop. A local cashier need not go to 2 districts away for a livelihood. A cleaner, a loader, a security guard can well be deployed in the same hometown, in the comfort of his family, rather than going to an urban center and in spending 90% of the salary in just rent and food, whereas one can do the same thing at the same location in the comfort of his family in the vicinity. So that is what Neo Dukaan will help retail Shashaktikaran, modernizing retail by digitizing with the help of Rashi, the Retailers Association of India, and the TRAIN, Trust for Retailers and Retailers Associates in India. So it's a high-powered intent platform coming together of the titans with the right intent to deliver to India.
If you look at areas beyond the metro, Anand, digital literacy, that is still, that has a long way to go. And you, I understand, are working very closely on that aspect. What can you tell us on that?
So how deep literacy is required is a matter of human intuition in the current times. And let me explain this. There is technology, there is a need, and there is a high-powered, simplified user experience that you are able to command now in multiple languages. So if in Hindi, if in Odia, if in Bangla, Gujarati, or all other various languages, I am able to build interfaces which Payoneer has built to give it to the local citizens through assisted medium of a trusted retail partner. It's the first good step done, where I'm able to show to him that if he wants to save 3,000 rupees for annual fee for the daughter, he got to save certain amount of money every month. Say 250 bucks each month would add up to certain amount. That is good enough, rather than teaching him a PRT upon 100 as the formula for interest calculation, or for getting a bike in 10 months that he needs to start saving 4,000, 5,000 bucks every month. That is a good enough a start. So a visual user experience with a trusted local retail partner whom you trust more than probably 40 kilometer away financial service setup, a broker, intermediary, various other assistance providers.
While the government, of course, has been working very closely to ensure that entrepreneurs who are in the fintech space, in the digital lending payment space, etc., are growing, my question to you is, what perhaps are the 1 or 2 things, or maybe just the one thing that you think that the government should continue to focus on or should focus on as someone who's working in this area?
Yeah, so I think the key task that the government is anyways doing is the formulation of appropriate policy, creation of right regulation, right environment, enabling environment at that. The recent few steps on account aggregator coming up, the OCEN format coming up for online credit enablement for mass retailers, the Sehmati format that the voluntary organizations have been able to convince the ecosystem to work on, the regulatory sandbox that has been brought out by Reserve Bank, and similar sandbox environments by IRDA and SEBI have been also announced and are operationally doing great already.
Okay.
The key part here is to see that the Reserve Bank came out with a regulatory review board. That's a high intent of a regulator to tell that we are listening. Please tell us what do you want, because times are changing. What has been left behind, tell us. We are willing to review. So that's a very encouraging environment, I would say. With focus on customer protectionism, with massifying the services, trying to see beyond a limited set of digital savvy segment, I think the government is doing a lot more. And I think we have one of the most progressive government in the world today. And we would welcome this whole new initiative the government has taken. The Reserve Bank, especially our regulator that we look up to, has taken very, very well-meaning, timely interventions that have been brought in are should be continued is all I would request and urge on this platform.
All right. Last question to Anand. What future plans could you leave us with?
I'll sign off saying that Har Dukaan digital platform is the vision that we have. We have transitioned from being digital pradhan, the local Thalaiva, digital Thalaiva leader that we call our retail partners as. Now he has transformed into a platform where we are connecting online to offline. Each of these micro entrepreneur serving, assisting the citizens in their own area can become a facilitator, a connector, and we are working on ensuring absolute dominance of this intent in the country. So Har Dukaan digital platform is the vision of the next 5 years for us, and we shall connect the entire nation on this railroads and help take multiple services to the last mile, the first mile, as our friend Sanjay Jain calls it.
All right, Anand. Good having you here on the show. That was Pay Nearby.